It is a strange irony of modern adulthood. You try everything you can to prove you are responsible with your money, and somehow that exact effort ends up draining your bank account. Meet Linda. For the past year, she has been on a singular mission, getting her finances in perfect shape so she can finally buy her dream home. Her very first step was doing what everyone says you need to do. She got a credit card, specifically to start building up a strong history of borrowing. But when you desperately want to do the right thing and you don't know the actual rules of the system, you become the perfect target for terrible advice. A friend pulled Linda aside and told her a secret to boosting her score. It was meant to be helpful, but it was completely false. The friend warned her that if she paid off her entire credit card bill every month, the bank would think she didn't actually need their money, and they wouldn't give her a good score. So Linda adopted what she thought was a clever trick, the 30% rule. She would intentionally leave exactly 30% of her bill unpaid each month, convinced this showed the bank she was actively utilizing the card. Month after month, she executed this routine perfectly. She watched her statements arrive, calculated the math, and left that chunk unpaid, totally confident she was winning the credit game. Without realizing it, Linda had turned a rumor into a routine. She had wrapped herself in self-inflicted debt, all while calling it a strategy. To see why this approach doesn't work, let's step away from banks for a second and imagine a much simpler transaction. Imagine you ask to borrow your neighbor's bicycle for the afternoon to run some errands. When you are done, you bring the bike back. But to prove to your neighbor just how much you enjoyed using it, you rip off the front wheel, keep it for yourself, and hand them the rest of the bike. Your neighbor wouldn't think you were a great borrower. They would be annoyed, and they probably wouldn't lend you anything ever again. Yet when it comes to borrowing from a bank, we somehow convince ourselves that the lender wants us to keep a piece of what we took. The logic of everyday life applies perfectly to financial trust. Keeping a piece of what you borrowed destroys trust. It certainly doesn't build it. So what does a bank actually think when you hold on to that 30% balance? They do not look at your account and see a responsible customer nurturing a relationship. They see a balance that they can charge extra money for. That unpaid portion is simply debt, generating expensive interest charges for the bank. And paying that extra interest buys you exactly nothing. You don't unlock secret benefits, your credit score doesn't get a boost, and you definitely don't earn bonus points. Leaving a balance isn't a clever trick to beat the system. You are simply making a voluntary cash donation to a highly profitable institution. The real secret to building a strong borrowing history is actually incredibly boring. You just use your card for normal, everyday expenses that you already have the cash for, like groceries or a tank of gas. Then you complete the process by paying off the entire statement balance all the way down to zero at the end of every single month. You don't have to outsmart anyone. True reliability is proven by returning exactly what you borrowed, nothing more and nothing less. Good money management doesn't rely on hidden tricks or complicated formulas. It comes from understanding the simple, logical truths behind the numbers. We are glad you're here figuring it out with us. Hit subscribe so we can keep making sense of these rules together, and we will see you in the next video.